Press record. Okay, welcome everybody. For those of you who are new, my name is Brittany Hayes. I'm your ambassador Diamond Upline. I'm so excited to just launch November with you guys and just get started strong for these last 60 days of the year. I just got back from the event in Boston. It was our last corporate event of the year. It was absolutely amazing. It was the best event I've been to all year. So incredible. So much incredible connecting time, but also just so many aha moments shared across the board. And I'm just super excited to go over some of the things with you guys. I had some special time with Cammie. We had a dinner Saturday night with her before we celebrated her birthday, had her birthday party after. Had some special time with our Black Diamond uplines, Joel and Stephanie Dunn. If you guys on here, any of you who are new, don't know what Black Diamond means, Black Diamond means that they make more than $100,000 in one single month, every single month in this business. And so Joel and Steph are our Black Diamond uplines, and anytime getting spent with them is always so incredible and so inspiring. And I know just that, a couple of days with them has me dreaming so bigger. And I hope that after tonight, you guys just have a clear vision and a clear plan of where you're going and how to maximize just these last 2 months of the year. How we finish 2019 is 100% how we start 2020. If we wait to 2020 to get started, we're already behind. And one thing that Joel and Steph were talking about whenever I was talking to them Saturday night is they said just how the steps of success is what took them Black Diamond. And you guys know we've been as a team talking about steps of success so much these last couple of months. We've been really trying to get back to basics and put so much focus on that. And just really going over that is our non-negotiable with this business. There's no reason any of us on here can't fulfill our steps of success every single month. And if you've ever signed a distributor before, if you've ever signed a customer before, you can do it again. It's that simple. But one thing Joel and Steph said when they were talking about how it was the steps of success that took them Black Diamond. They didn't have people when they were running from ambassador to Black Diamond. They did not have people that were, crazy master rollers on their team during that season. But what they did have was a team that knew how to do the steps of success, a team that relentlessly did their steps of success every single month. And Joel and Steph have always done their steps of success every month. And one thing they said that I thought was just like such a mic drop, just powerful aha moment was they said, it's impossible to go backwards in your business if you're completing your steps of success every single month. And they said, think about it. If you are always making forward motion, you're never going to find yourself going backwards. But so often when people feel stuck in their business or they feel like they just aren't getting where they want to go, it's because they had long ago stopped doing their steps of success. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. And I want those of you who have been with us for a while, and maybe, 2019, you had some personal stuff that happened, or you had, a moment where you felt stuck. Ask yourself, at what point did I stop doing my steps of success? Because I promise you, you're going to see the two align. You're going to see, oh yeah, I was on fire these, 4 months. You were enrolling, you were doing your steps to success, and then you're going to be able to quickly identify when you got stuck. It was when you stopped doing your steps of success. And I would challenge anyone on here to tell me they've done their steps of success every single month, but they're stuck. You're not going to see it happen. And so I just thought that was just such another great reminder, especially as we've been talking about that as a team for several months now. Such a great reminder that is how simple it is. They got up to well over $100,000 a month in income from just doing their steps of success. And if anyone on here is new and is like, I still don't know what that means, your steps of success is your key to being successful in this business. It's your roadmap that you do every month, and it's 4 customers and 3 distributors every single month. And doing your steps of success over and over and over will take you Ruby, it'll take you Diamond, it'll take you Double Diamond, it'll take you all the way to Ambassador, and it'll take you Black Diamond. And so anyways, I wanted to share that with you guys. But at our dinner that we had with Cammie on Saturday night, we had a top 20 dinner, and she got up and she shared some stuff with us, and she said, slow season is only slow if you're slow. She said, if you are not slow, no slow season. And I thought that was so good, and I definitely agreed 100%. And she just went on to say, like, if you're running, you're never going to feel like things are slow, but you feel like things are slow when you are slow. And it was kind of just tied in so well with what Joel and Steph had just shared with me. earlier that evening. And so I wanted to share that with you guys too, as just another great reminder that you're in control. Take control of your business, take the bull by the horns, and do what you know to do, because it really is that simple. You know, I think about all the things in life that we don't have control of. We don't have control of what someone else does. We don't have control of other people's attitudes, other people's responses to us. There's so many things that we cannot control. We can't control if we come home and our spouse is in a bad mood. We can't control if our kids are just, completely, out of sorts, or they're sick or something like that. But one thing we can always control is what we do. We can always control our attitude. We can control our outlook on life. We can control, how we respond. And tacking onto that, we can control what we do in our business. We can control if we are consistent. We can control if we don't react when things happen that we wish wouldn't have happened, but we just keep going anyways. If you guys haven't watched Amanda Stein's live in Fire Tribe today, definitely watch that after the Zoom. And it ties so much into with what I wanted to talk to you guys about. But she talked about how, there can be things challenging going on in your life, but you can say, I'm not going to give in. I'm going to keep going. And one thing I want to encourage you guys is to take the word hard out of your vocabulary. One thing that Cami said to me probably 2 years ago, she said, if you never say the word hard again and you only replace it with challenging, you'll never feel like life's that hard again, because you have your brain reacts so differently when you say, this is so hard, my life is so hard right now, or this season is so hard, than when you just say this is challenging. Like when you say it's challenging, you want to get over it. Like we naturally want to overcome challenges. That's who we are as humans. We want to get over the humps. We want to climb up the mountain. And so when we just describe things as challenging, it's not so bad. Like mentally, we can tough through it so much faster than if we're telling ourselves it's hard. So tacking on to everything Amanda shared, I wanted to share that with you guys. Like so many of you guys are going through challenging things, but stop saying it's hard and start saying it's challenging. And then start finding the solutions to get through that challenge, and watch how much you grow as a person because of it. One thing that we talked a lot about, a group of us when we were in Boston, we were in a hotel room one night and we were talking about how, so much of this business is mind over matter, and how, anxiety is mind over matter, depression is mind over matter. Like there's so many things that we go through that can feel so challenging, but if we will just tough through it, and we will just pray through it, and we will just ask God to give us his perfect peace and to give us that strength that sustains us through those challenges, we can get through it. But there's two choices we have. We can make that choice, or we can make the choice to stay stuck and to just wallow and to be like, this is so hard. And so if you haven't watched Amanda's live, watch that. And I hope that you can take away from what I'm sharing tonight and what she shared in the live, that you can overcome anything you're going through. No matter what is happening in your life, if you have everything within you to overcome it and to come out on top. You are the head, not the tail. You can come out on top if you will just simply believe you can, and you will lean on the Lord's strength and ask him to push you through. I promise you, like the biggest lessons and the most impactful lessons I've learned in this business that have largely made me who I am today have been not on the mountaintops, they've been through the valleys. They've been through those seasons where I'm pushing to get to a rank and I don't know why it feels so challenging, and I don't know why it's so much harder than the last rank. It's, pushing through just different seasons in my personal life that feel way more challenging than anything I've gone through before. I don't learn anything when I'm on the mountaintop, right? I shouldn't say anything, but the biggest things that I learn happen when I'm going through those seasons. And so I encourage you, when you're going through a season that feels tough, ask yourself, what can I learn through this? What is God trying to tell me through this? Who is he trying to mold me into during this season? Because I'm telling you, if you'll lean into that frame of mind, you'll not only find that you get through it so much quicker, but you will be so much prouder. I was just voice messaging one of you guys on here today. I'm not going to call her out who it was, but we were voice messaging about some stuff. And I said, when you hit this rank that you're going to hit this month, you're going to feel so extremely proud. You're going to feel so proud, so much more proud than you would have if you would have hit it several months ago, because you've walked through so many different challenges and you've leaned in and grown through them, that when you hit it this month, it's going to feel 10 times sweeter than it would have felt, 6 months ago before you went through any of those challenges. And she voice messaged back and she was like, no, I absolutely know that you're right. She's like, I know it's going to feel so incredible. And so I want you to know, like, that is how, if we look at things we're going through like that, it's so much simpler to get through them, and it doesn't feel so tough. And so I just encourage you to look at whatever obstacle you're facing like that. Guys, there's 60 days left in the year. It's time to get to work. There is so much that is on the table, so much that the Lord is waiting for us to rise up and claim, but we have to get to work. We cannot waste any time. Cami at our top 20 dinner, she had us all, we had no clue she was going to do this, but she asked us all to get up one by one, and to share some things, with the rest of the group that we had learned, just some wins that we had had, and just any words from the Lord that we had shared. And we were totally unprepared, and it was absolutely so amazing to listen to how much all of the things we were sharing were so similar. And I don't just mean the wins, I mean the things that we felt like the Lord had been telling us, which just was further confirmation that big things are happening. All of you on here who are diamond and above, you already know what I'm about to say, because you guys heard me share this on one of the Diamonds and Above Zooms a couple weeks ago. But when I listened to the book, Make It Rain, or not Make It Rain, Ask for the Rain, a couple months ago, there were so many things that the Lord was revealing to me through that book. And it was so crazy because I wasn't even going to listen to that book. It wasn't on my list, but he literally plopped it right in front of me, like, this is the book you're supposed to read. And after reading that book, I just felt like the Lord was saying, you guys haven't seen anything yet. The success that you guys as a team have seen up to now is a drop in the bucket compared to what I'm about to do. And I just felt like over and over, the constant theme that he was revealing to me through reading this book was, do not rest until you've watched me repeat and exceed what I've already done. Because what you guys have seen me do, I'm going to do again. I've done it before, I'll do it again. But not just that, you guys are going to see me exceed anything you've ever seen me do before. And so that was what I was sharing with the group. And it was so crazy because one by one, right after me, the different things that other people were sharing were things that, one person got up and she said that she was praying just a few weeks ago, and she was like, Lord, what are you trying to show me for 2020? She was a presidential who was sharing it, and she said that she felt like the Lord was saying to her, eyes have not seen and ears have not heard what I'm about to do to this company. This company is favored, and I'm about to pour out my favor on this company. You have not seen anything yet. Get ready, hold on tight. Someone else got up and said that It Works is favored because God is in the center of it, that God just kept telling them and showing them over and over, you guys are favored because you keep me first. You guys are favored because this company keeps me first. You guys are favored because Mark and Cindy Pentecost pray over every single seat in the arena before an event starts. You guys are favored because I'm at the center of this company. I'm at the center of your business. Someone else got up and shared that there had been different challenges they had faced that year, but that they just, felt this stirring in their spirit that everything that we as a company had faced, every individual challenge that each of us individually have faced, was all because God was preparing us for what he was about to give us. And that if we would lean in and continue to receive the lessons that he was trying to teach us, we were going to be in a place where we could reap what he's trying to give us, like we wouldn't have been able to if we wouldn't have walked through what we had walked through. And I know for me, you guys, if I would have not walked through so many of the things I've walked through in this business, not only would I not be the leader I am today, but I wouldn't have been prepared to handle the blessings that he's given me today. And so kind of going back to what we were talking about at the beginning of this Zoom, I just encourage you guys, whatever challenges you're facing, ask yourself, what is he teaching me? How is he preparing me? How is what I'm going through right now going to prepare me for the blessings that are about to come? And start working with that mindset. Because when we work with that mindset, we become better stewards of what he's giving us. And whenever we raise up and we really fully realize, to whom much is given, much more shall be required. If I am a good steward of what he's blessed me with right now, maybe you're a Ruby, you have 3 people on your team. Are you a good steward of those 3 people? Are you taking care of those 3 people? Are you checking in with them? Are you helping them? When they answer you, do you message them back in an hour, or do you wait 3 days? Like, ask yourself, am I a good steward of what God is giving me? If you are a diamond leader on here, are you taking care of your team? Are you leading them from the front? Are you putting your running shoes on and running ahead of them? Or are you just kind of waiting to see what they do? Ask yourself, am I being a good steward of what the Lord is giving me? And the great thing about this is, no matter how you answer this, there's always room for improvement. Even if you feel like you are being a really good steward, you can always level up. You can always step up and say, Lord, how can I get better? How can I lead these people better? How can I point them to you better? And if you feel like you're totally dropping the ball and you're not doing anything right, that's okay, you guys. He's gracious. And if you can start today, to improve. You can learn from other people who maybe are doing it a little bit better than you. But I'm telling you, when we start being committed to growth, when we start being committed to being a good steward of what he's given us, that is when we start seeing things happen that we didn't see happen before. And so just going through all that, I just would love so much if you guys after the Zoom would just share something with your upline, your enroller, or if you want to share it with me, you can, that you feel like God has been showing you these last couple of days. I feel like there's just been so many things these past couple of days that have spoken to me, between Boston, between Amanda's live, and just like other things that I heard from other, you know, my peers, other top leaders this weekend. And I just would love to hear like what you feel like God is showing you and how you're going to level up and step up to the plate to end 2019 strong. Because you guys, if we don't make a plan, we're not going to go anywhere. We have to stand up and we have to commit that, okay, these last 60 days are going to be like nothing I've done before. These last 60 days, I'm going to run like I've never run before and carry that momentum into conference. Because the people who run right now, you guys, November and December, are the people who walk into conference and they are ready to read everything Mark puts on the table. Because I'm telling you, when you stand in that arena and he announces everything he announces Saturday night, you are either going to be very, very happy because you know you're in a place that you can read everything he's announcing, or you're going to have kind of an oh crap moment where you're like, you know what, like I feel like I have a lot of things I need to make up for right now. I think of everyone on here, all of you who last year at conference promoted after conference, and the year before, the bonuses that were earned. And I know, you know, every single one of you would back me up in saying it came from the work you did right now. You guys, this time last year, this team went Presidential Diamond. November of last year went Presidential Diamond. And that momentum that we carried through conference took us Ambassador in April. And so I want to know who else is going Ambassador after conference, who else is going, you know, who else is going to walk into conference in VIP, because the work you do now sets you up for all of that. And so kind of going back to some of the announcements that were made at Boston that are just going to help that momentum that we already have going. Carb control. So many of you guys have been asking, you're like, what is carb control? What do I do with it? How do I talk to people about it? So a couple things about carb control. Number one, it does not replace fat fighters. Carb control is something that works on the front end, whereas fat fighters work on the back end. So carb control, you and your customers take 30 minutes before you eat any type of carby meal. It's great for people who are on like the keto diet to take whenever, you know, they're out at a restaurant and maybe they think they're ordering keto, but they don't know what type of hidden carbs could still be in the meal. For example, like when you make spaghetti and meatballs at home, you can ensure they're keto friendly. But if you're keto and you're eating at a restaurant, and sorry, not spaghetti meatballs, I just meant meatballs. When you go to a restaurant, you order meatballs, for all you know, there was flour put in it and all kinds of other things. And so what carb control is great for keto people is when they take it 30 minutes before a meal, if there was any hidden carbs, it's not going to throw them out of ketosis. It's going to change the way their body processes the carbs to where their body breaks the carbs down, not like typical carbs, to where it breaks it down like it would a fat. It doesn't immediately turn it into sugar. So it gets it out of your system quicker. So that's how it's great for keto people. And then how it's great for the rest of us who are not keto is just kind of similar to fat fighters, but not the same. Like where we take fat fighters to cancel out a cheat meal, that's kind of where I mean it's similar, but the way it works is totally different. It changes the way our body processes the carbs, changes the way our body breaks down the carbs. And so it's just a great thing to take before you eat dessert, before you eat any type of a carb meal, and it also stabilizes your blood sugar levels. That being said, you can still take fat fighters after. Fat fighters bind up the fats and carbs, pulling them through you, whereas carb control changes the way your body processes them all together. So it's totally fine to take both. You don't have to take both, but you can. I personally will take both because I want all the help I can get. But yeah, for those of you that have been asking, that's the differences. So I hope that makes sense. Right now, what I would be doing if I were all of you, and I shared this in my mentorship group this morning and shared it with the diamonds and above, but send a message out to every single one of your loyal customers and just basically send a message saying something like, hey girl, I wanted to reach out to you. I'm so excited. We just launched a new product that's going to be perfect to have on hand during, you know, Thanksgiving dinner and all the holiday festivities. It's called Carb Control. You take it 30 minutes before you eat, and it changes the way your body processes the carbs and gets them out of your system quicker, so you don't have to pay for them like you typically would. I'm getting in orders today. Did you want me to get an order for you too with your 40% off discount? Boom, and just send that to all your customers. You can voice message it, you can type that out and send it in Connect. But messaging all your customers, you guys, that's going to get you so much volume. And then people who fall in love with it are going to add that to their auto shipment. They're going to reorder it. So don't neglect your current customers while you're focusing on new. We want to make sure we're still taking care of the customers that we have, and then make sure you get your carb control on hand so you can have that ready for the holidays, and you can post about it, and you can talk about how you have your secret weapon, you know, on hand for all the holiday festivities you've got going on. And then also there is a promotion going on if you get Carb Control and Cleanse. This is for customers. I don't actually know if this works for us as distributors. I haven't looked, but this is for all your customers. If they get Carb Control and the 2-day cleanse, they get $5 off the cleanse. So once those customers you're messaging say yes to Carb Control, like yes, put me an order in, you can immediately upsell and say, okay, perfect. I'm getting your order in right now, and I see you have an offer on your account for $5 off a 2-day cleanse. Did you want me to add that to your order too? Boom, easy upsell. So that's how I would do it, is I would get them for Carb Control first, and then I would add the cleanse on. And then if you, same thing with new customers that, you know, maybe come from a post or something for Carb Control, same thing. Get their info, and as you're getting their order in, message them and say, okay, I'm getting your order in now. I just saw an offer pop up on your account for $5 off a 2-day cleanse. Did you want me to add that to your order too? So easy peasy. I love that they did that easy upsell for us all. And then the other thing that was announced at Boston, I know some of you guys are watching the live stream, but for those of you who haven't watched the replay yet, Margaritaville. So we know that this is extended all month long, but I don't know the exact dates. I need to look, but I think it's till the end of the week, but don't quote me on that. It says in East Week, the exact end date, but I think it's till the end of the week, is double points for DTs. So any distributors that you sign, instead of just getting 200 points, you're getting 400 points. So definitely follow up with all your potentials. You don't have to wait till Friday. You can start following up now, and let them know that in their starter kit, when they get started with you, they're going to get an extra $65 worth of product. And now is seriously the perfect time to get started. And that $65 for the product, you guys, is Carb Control. So new distributors you sign, they get Carb Control in their kit, plus you're getting double points. So it's an easy way to follow up with people, and it gives you an excuse to follow up earlier. Even if you just followed up on Friday, you can follow up again and just say like, oh my gosh, I just found out, anyone who gets started with me as a distributor is going to get an extra $65 worth of product on top of the $150 worth of free products you already get. Girl, we have to get you going. Let's get you going in time for the holidays so you can pay cash for Christmas. Are you ready? Just follow up with people super excitedly, and just be so direct with them, you guys, because people, I'm telling you, there's so many people that I talk to that the moment I get really red with them, they're like, okay, I'm ready. Or okay, you know what, when I get paid Friday, I'm signing. But sometimes people need you to voice message them. They need you to tell them it's time. So if you've got those people that are on the fence, like use this to get them off the fence, but also make sure that you're bringing the heat too, like you're bringing the sense of urgency. I love what Cami said earlier. I don't know if you guys watched her coaching Zoom on her Facebook page. If you haven't watched it, definitely watch the replay. But she said that she had so many people when she was building in the field who started with her during the holidays because they didn't want to have to get a part-time job like they had in previous years, like a seasonal job working retail. So they got started with her just for that part-time holiday money. And then afterwards, they were having so much fun and just felt such a strong calling on their life to do this business full time that they stayed long after the holidays and went all the way to the top with her. And so that's one way that I would really, really market the business during the holiday season is like on your Facebook, you can say like who, could use some extra cash in time for the holidays. I've got, part-time openings to work off your smartphone with me. You can work on your own schedule, on your own time, blah, blah, blah. But that's just a great way to get those people who right about now are starting to apply for part-time jobs. That's a great way to get them to start working with you instead of them immediately going and getting that seasonal job. I know when I worked at Coach, back like, oh my gosh, before I had Savannah, right around this time was when people started coming into our store wanting to, get that seasonal job. So this is the time to start marketing it that way and to start bringing those people in, because this is a season when people, they have two choices. They're either going to put Christmas on a credit card or they're going to go get a second job to pay for it. And you have the solution for them to literally help them pay cash for it and then change their life in 2020. So use that to your advantage, market it, and really like make sure when you're talking to people that you let your passion come through of why the time is now, why they need to get started with you right now and not delay. Another thing I wanted to make sure everyone knew, because they did reiterate this again at Boston, is any newbies that get started do still have 10 days to get their conference ticket at the early bird pricing and get those discount, the 50% off business builder codes, the 5 codes, as well as the product rewards and all of that. And I feel like there's something else I'm missing about that. Oh, and they do still have the pay with commissions option. So make sure when your new distributors are signing, you're talking to them right away, like day one. You're telling them like, hey girl, I just want to let you know, if you get your conference ticket for our annual conference coming up the end of January, you're going to get 5 codes to enroll 5 distributors half off. That's going to be $500 in fast start bonuses for you. Not to mention you'll be able to hang out with me and all of our top leaders. It's the biggest event of the year. No one misses it. did you want me to give you info about how to get your ticket? And just keep it simple like that. You don't need to lead with how much the ticket is or anything like that. Just go ahead and give them that information. And once they come back and they're like, yeah, tell me more, then you can tell them, okay, this is the price if you ordered in the early bird discount. And if you get your ticket now, you can even do a pay with commissions option. So they just pull it out of your check. Just make it so simple for your new distributors and help them help them find a way to get there. I know Allie Rosser, I don't know if it's full yet. So if it's full, sorry, Allie. But I know Allie Rosser is heading up an Airbnb house for everyone who wants to stay together to save money. So for those of you who are coming without your spouse, without your significant other, we can pair you up with Allie. We can get you connected in that message group. And if there's room in the house, you can stay with them. And that's a great way to be able to come affordably, get your ticket, get your plane ticket, or if you're driving, cool, but then you can stay in the house for so low cost. So there's no reason not to go, you guys. You cannot afford not to get there. And I'm telling you guys that are on here who are diamonds and above, or even rubies and above, if you want your business to explode, you get your team to conference. When your team comes to conference, you guys, things happen that I can't quite explain. I can't quite tell you how things happen the way they do. I know Jordan's on here and she's saying yes in the comments because she knows exactly what I'm talking about. The people who get the most of their team to conference are the people who are very, very happy after conference. They're the people who literally are like, I don't even know what's happening, because there's just something about being in that room. There's something about here, being in the same, vicinity as Mark and Cindy, and hearing their hearts and just being in front of just so much inspiration. So many people who are where you want to be. You cannot afford not to go. If you're new and you're listening and you're like, all right, I want to go, but I don't know how, figure it out just as you go. But the first thing first is get your ticket. Get your ticket before it sells out. You can figure the rest out later. You have time, but you're going to want to go. If you want to give yourself a raise, you'll get to conference, plain and simple. Joel Dunn was sharing again in Boston. He shared this on one of their lives they did, like when conference tickets were first announced. So I know a lot of you guys already saw this, but he was talking in Boston about how, on their entire team, their entire organization, which is all of us, you guys, they're our Black Diamond uplines. They said statistically, over 80% of the people who go diamond or above during like conference season are the people who were at conference. He said the people that are promoting during that season are 100% the people who attended. It's not the people who didn't attend. It's a very small amount of people who didn't go who promote. And that's not to say if you don't go, you can't promote, because there's definitely people I've seen promote who weren't able to go their first year. But when you go, you set yourself up for massive promotions that I promise you would have been so much less likely to happen if you didn't go. So do whatever you've got to do to get there. If you're listening and you already have your ticket, do whatever you have to do to get your team there. Help them figure it out. Pair them up with the Airbnb group. Help them look up good flights, help them figure out who they could road trip with. Physically help them find a way to get there, because I'm telling you, you want your team in that room. You want your team to experience conference. And you guys, just kind of going back to what we were just talking about, there is literally less than 60 days left of the month. Left of the year. So the clock is ticking. We need to go, do everything that we know to do, leave no stone left unturned. Make sure everyone's getting their conference tickets, check in with our customers about card control, get as many business partners in that we can start helping tangibly pay for the holidays in cash, and literally just ask God to show us the way every step of the way. Last year, this time when we went Prez, I want to tell the story before we wrap up. When we went Prez in November, it was literally such a blur. That entire month, I know so many of you guys can relate to this. Jordan, I know, will know exactly what I'm saying. She went double that month, and it was just such a blur. I can't even really tell you what all happened that month, other than mass enrollments, because it was all so boom, boom, boom. And I remember some days not even knowing what all I had done that day. I'd get to the end of the day and I'm like I've been talking to so many people, I've been posting all day, I don't even know what's happening. But by the end of the month, we went presidential. We had record enrollments on the team. Things were absolutely insane, the momentum that was going. And I remember literally sitting down and talking to Zach the next day, December 1st, after we promoted. And I was like, I can't even begin to explain how many times God came through and filled the gaps this month. There were so many things that happened on the team that there was no way to explain it other than he was blessing our efforts. There was no way to explain it other than he saw we were running and he was like, all right, you guys have been faithful. You guys have been consistent. Here you go. Here's your blessing. I know got to hear Jordan talk about this with a few other people in Boston. about her promotion that month, and how it was just so incredible, just like watching like how God had blessed the work she had done months prior. Even though that wasn't her personal best month of the business, she had been so consistent, so faithful, and put in the work, regardless of how she felt. And she watched her team explode that month and go double diamond and on to triple a couple months later and on to Prez a couple months after that. And so I'm telling you, you'll never, ever, ever regret showing up. You'll never regret putting in the work. You will only regret what you didn't do. You'll only regret when you look back and you're like, man, I've slacked the last 3 months. So get to work, put your running shoes on, focus. And if you ever feel overwhelmed throughout the day, if you feel, you have a point in the week where you're like, I don't even know what's happening, stop and pray. Ask God to remove that anxiety from you, replace it with his peace. Ask God to show you who to talk to. Ask God to, guide you during your follow-ups. You guys, at this point in the business, being in the business, 3.5 years, my follow-up list is absolutely overwhelming. Like when I pull up my iPad, it's like pages upon pages upon pages upon pages. And guys, I'm human. Yeah, I know some of you guys just think like I just, rock star at everything, but that's not how my Fridays are, how my days are all the time. There's so many days I sit down to do follow-ups and I look at those pages and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired already. Like this is so overwhelming. And I will literally pray and I'll say like, Lord, show me who I need to follow up with first. Show me who to talk to first. Show me, like direct me with what I need to do to maximize my time. And I'm telling you, when you start praying like that and you start asking God to literally guide you in your business, you will get to a point where you feel like you're gliding. You won't feel like you're striving, you'll feel like you're gliding. And so if you at any point feel overwhelmed, that is my best advice I can give you as your leader, who definitely feels overwhelmed from time to time, is just stop and ask him to direct your steps. Stop and ask him to show you exactly what to do, and then go, and then just do it. I know you guys hear me say all the time, God cannot bless what we won't do. He can't bless us when we're sitting on the couch watching Netflix, not doing anything, but he absolutely can bless us even when we feel weak, even when we feel like a mess, even when we feel like we're falling apart, but we're taking steps anyways, and we're asking him to help us. That's when he blesses us. That's when he blesses us big. And that is exactly what I saw happen so much this time last year, and what I'm just so excited about for right now, because I know so many of you guys, just again, kind of going back to Amanda's live, are saying enough is enough. You're ready to go. You're ready to reap the harvest that was meant for you. You're ready to reap what is yours. And I'm telling you guys, like as you plow through, expect there to be attacks. As you plow through, expect there to be moments where you feel like you can't go any further. Expect there to be moments where you feel the enemy coming at you in all kinds of crazy ways. But when that happens, stop and ask God to immediately cover you with his blood. Stop and ask the Lord to immediately show you exactly what you need to do next. Stop and ask immediately for that direction that you feel like you don't even know where to begin to go. And I'm telling you, when you do that, he's going to help you. He's going to show you. He's never just going to leave you in the dark and leave you hanging. He's going to help you get through that tough, challenging moment, and you're going to be okay. You're going to get back on the other side. And when you have that victory, when you have that win, it's going to feel all the more sweeter, because you're going to know what it took to get there. Kay shared on stage. Actually, her name's Kay Dixon now because she's married, but Pam Sauter's daughter, Kay, she shared something on stage about a story that her mom had told her, that Pam had told her just before Boston. It was like the day before they were eating lunch, talking about Boston. And she said that when Pam told her when she made her first million, she didn't really like feel anything. She was like, excited and everything, but she was like, yeah, I had already decided I was going to make my first million. So it was very anticlimactic. And then she told Kay, she said, but the moment when I fell to the floor and I like literally sobbed and I couldn't even begin to put into words, what I was feeling and what had just happened, was when I hit my next goal. And that was $8 million. And when she hit $8 million with the company she was with at that time, she said she literally like fell to the floor, so overwhelmed. And Kay asked her, what was different about that as opposed to your first million? And she said, because I felt the work that it took to get there. I felt the things that I had to push through and fight through to get there. She said, I didn't feel that with my first million because I'd long already decided and just kind of like, there I was. She's like, but the 8 million, there was so many things that I had to get through to get there that I felt that. And when I got there, I was so overwhelmed with so many emotions. And that just makes me think, so many of you guys, as you're pushing to VIP, as you're pushing to ambassador, I'm telling you, like the more we have to go through to get there, the sweeter it feels when we get there, when we finally accomplish that, when we finally achieve that. And so I love you guys so much. I believe in every single one of you more than you could possibly know. I'm telling you guys, if you're on this team, you're here for a reason. If you're here today listening to this Zoom, you're here for a reason. Don't give doubt a place in your life. Don't give the enemy a single foothold in your life. When you know the way that he works and you know that he comes to steal, kill, and destroy, you can be confident when you start seeing things happen that it's him, that it's not God. God's not the author of confusion. He's never going to do anything like that in your life. He's never the cause of anything like that. So when you start feeling things like that happening, you know it's the enemy, and you know that if the enemy is coming up against you, he never attacks a house that he's not scared is going to come up against him. So if he's attacking you, if he's attacking your family, if he's attacking your marriage, if he's attacking your business, you know it's because there is a strong calling on your life. And you have two choices. You can let that fuel you, and you can be like, man, if he's attacking me this hard, there must be something really amazing in my future that I need to keep fighting for. Or you can fall to the ground, you can wallow, and you can just give up in defeat. It's your choice. But I'm telling you, if you know that that's how he works, then you're not naive to his schemes. You'll see him coming a mile away, and you'll know that God has already fought the battle for you. He's already gone before you. He's already paved the way for you. It's your job to just keep going. It's your job to just keep following him. It's not our job, you guys, to get a blessing. It's our job to be faithful. And if you're committed to being faithful, the blessings will always come. God will always pour his blessings out on you, but you've got to be faithful. So I love you guys. Let's crush the rest of 2019. Let's take this team double ambassador. Let's go, 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 and walk into conference with more VIPs than anyone ever saw coming. Let's walk in, take over the VIP floor, and literally watch as people's heads spin and say, what is going on in that team? Where is this kind of growth happening? Because I'm telling you guys, this team is being watched so closely by corporate, because corporate knows this team has something so special. Corporate recognizes the leadership in this team is extremely unique. And I'm telling you guys, any single one of you, I don't care if you just joined last week, you can choose to rise up and be the leader that God has called you to be. You can choose to rise up and step into who you were created to be. So let's go. I'm ready. I want to know who's running with me. We've got less than 60 days of this year. Let's make it count. I love you guys so much. I'll get this recording uploaded soon. I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys later.